So everybody knows. If you don't know, now you know. I used to be a pathological liar. Facts, facts, machine. Brrr, send that shit. Ew. How did I stop? What broke the spell? What made me inspired to not be a pathological liar? Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. When I went to jail, when I went to jail, Yale, the college, the university, Cook County Yale University. I told a lot of stuff about myself that was not necessarily true. Like, what do you ask? Like the fact that I was from the hood, which actually, if you're actually from the hood, then you know that I was not born and raised and subject to the violence and the misunderstandings and the things that go on in inner urban communities. I'm obviously not from the hood, and if you think I'm from the hood, you're probably not as hood as you think, or you're not hood at all, and you never experienced anybody from the hood. I'm from the suburbs, bro. I'm a suburbanite during the day and a suburbanite at night. Facts. Okay? I thought I was a. But see, the thing about it is, I was trying to brainwash and hypnotize myself so goddamn much to be that to be a certain image, to be a gangster. Now, am I in the gang? I don't want to talk about that. But I just thought, whatever. I thought it was cool to lie a lot. And the thing about it is, when people lie a lot, they're trying to hide. They don't love themselves. They don't have a specific sense of reality that a normal person should have. You feel me? So, when I was giving them all them lies and doing this and doing that and saying things and doing things that I wouldn't normally do, you know, that energy came back to me. Now, the thing about it is, my mother is the most beautiful, most intelligent, most amazing woman in the motherfucking world. Fuck your mom if she's not my mom. I don't care. Okay? The thing about it is, what my mom taught me was if you act like a gangster, when she saw what I was doing with my life, when my mom saw what I was doing with my life, with my energy, and the direction that my life was going into, which it actually ended up exactly as she predicted. When you act like a gangster, people are gonna treat you like a gangster, and you're not with that gangster shit. That's what she taught me. When you act like you're crazy, guess what's gonna? What are people gonna treat you like? Like you're motherfucking crazy. When you act like a gangster, and when you act crazy, people are gonna treat you like you're crazy. People are gonna treat you like you're a gangster. If you act like a nice person, people are not always gonna treat you like you're a nice person, which is where I fucked up because I had fucked up boundaries at that time. You feel me? So let me just get to the meat of the story. I'm not gonna tell you a story. I'm just gonna explain what happened. So I went to jail when I was 19, right? And I acted like a gangster, and I told people I was a gangster, and I told people I was from somewhere where I was not from. I told people I grew up in an environment that I did not grow up in. And you know what they did? They treated me like I was from an environment that I didn't grow up in. You know why? Because that's what people do. You heard? I'm not gonna describe everything because we don't even have time for that. But pretty much going to jail and seeing how people treated me and seeing how I was supposed to respond in that type of situation and I didn't respond like that. Yeah, I got humbled. I got humbled and I understood why lying is so very important to not do. Now, if people such as my enemies and even a couple of my loved ones, they might describe me in a past life as a liar and somebody that's manipulative. But guess what? I don't act like that anymore. Because just like Dollar Tree, you get what you pay for. And when you spend a dollar, you're going to get your dollar back. And if you treat that item correctly, it's still going to only cost a dollar and it's not going to last for the rest of your life. So that $1 image that I invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in did not give me a return on my investment. Realizing that, you know what, being yourself is beautiful. Loving yourself is the most important thing you can do in life. And the only way that you can love yourself is to know yourself. And the only way that you can know yourself is to experience. Yes, I talk about thotties. Yes, I'm a slut shamer because I don't like sluts. But at least sluts and thotties have experience and they can at least they're at least endeavoring to know themselves. Okay, whatever. If that's how you want to know yourself by being the neighborhood hoe, okay, I get it. But sex is not the most important thing in life mostly. But you can't know yourself if you don't do anything, bro. You can't know yourself if you don't know what options you have. You can't know yourself if you don't go into the world, bro, because we are the world. How can you say you don't like something if you never tried it in a specific way? In certain contexts, that is makes 110% sense. But you don't have to try everything. You don't have to try to be a gangster. You don't have to try to portray yourself as something that you're not because certain lifestyles are really dangerous and the consequences of those lifestyles is something that not everybody's prepared for. So you have to do what you were brought here to do instead of doing what you don't understand, bro. Just like my mentor taught me. He was saying the only way that you could be a real there's only two ways that you could be a really, really, really good gangster, bro. The two way if you really like if you're a little kid and you're watching this, you're number one, your parent is a bad parent. If they're not monitoring what you're doing and you're watching this all by yourself and you're a child, you shouldn't be watching this. But I'm gonna tell you what you need to know anyway. If you really want to grow up and be a gangster, I'm gonna tell you what you need to know. Look, you're not gonna become a really good gangster by listening to some fucking songs. 50 Cent and watching some fucking movies. Scarface is not gonna teach you how to be a gangster. Cause Scarface died. He wasn't a good gangster. He made a lot of money, but he could have made a lot of money doing a lot of things. Oh my goodness. Scarface was not a good gangster. No, he fucking wasn't. 50 Cent was not a good gangster. You know why? Because he's not a gangster anymore. He's a motherfucking music artist. Okay? Gangsters don't make motherfucking music. Pimps don't make motherfucking music. Drug dealers don't make music. They drug deal. They sell drugs. Pimps pimp bitches and hoes. And gangsters, they do gangster shit. And making music is not gangster. That's a career. He's not a gangster anymore. He's a music artist. He's not a pimp anymore. He's a motherfucking music artist. He's not a drug dealer anymore. He's a music artist. He's an actor. She's an actress. These people are not good at what they do. You know what? I'm gonna tell you the first thing that you need to know about gangsterdom. What's the most important part of being a gangster? Having an exit strategy. The first thing that you need to know about being in the street is the number one rule about being in the street is you need to have a good exit strategy so you never have to be in the street ever again. Nobody wants to die a gangster, stupid ass. So don't be a motherfucking gangster. You might as well just be a college student. You might as well just be a nurse. So you could be a doctor. Some nurses want to be nurses for the rest of their lives. That's fine. You know why? Because that's not illegal, because that's not going to kill you. Okay? Nobody wants to grow up and be a drug addict. Okay? That's the same thing. If you've never been in the street before, then you can't comprehend what I'm saying. Being a drug there's no if you're a gangster or you're a drug dealer or if you're in the street, you're no different than a J to me, cuz nobody wants to be a J. Nobody wants to grow people want to grow up and be criminals. Nobody wants to break into houses for the rest of their life and have to look over your shoulder and get high and walk around your house peeping out the blinds, looking out the motherfucking window all day. Do you know how motherfucking stressful that is, bro? Where do you think this drug culture came from? Because people can't handle the smoke and the stress from being in the street, bro. Nobody can because we're not built for that. Nobody. Oh, you're not built for that, nigga. Nobody's built for that. Even if you're a sober gangster, even if you're a sober criminal, nigga, your mind is not meant to be a criminal mind, bro. Unless you're a sociopath, unless you're a psychopath, unless you're somebody that's not safe to be around, you're a human. You are a lovable, loving, enlightening, beautiful person. You're not a gangster. You're not a criminal. You're not any of these things. You're a man or a woman or whatever the fuck. Facts. Ask your OG. Have you ever got really, really high one time and just got really paranoid and was peeping out the blinds and was walking around your house and you just did something and you knew you shouldn't have did it? Have you ever had fucking dreams about the people that you killed and they were sitting on your couch and you were astral projecting, but you it wasn't really a dream and they came and fucked with you and you wanted to switch religion, bro? It's real out here, bro. Stop playing with your life, bro. Stop dirtying your soul because these motherfucking songs, because some shit you see on TV, because your big cousin just got out of prison and you think he's cool because you don't have a dad, bro. Stop that shit. That's idiotic. You're an idiot. Don't do that. You're not an idiot. You're acting like an idiot. Okay, you're much smarter than you're displaying. I promise. You're at least 110% smarter than you're acting, especially if you think you want to grow up and be a gangster, bro. Are you prepared to go to prison for the rest of your life? Are you prepared to die and disappoint people and have them fucking light candles for you everywhere and have teddy bears all over the motherfucking city where you live? If you are, then do it because you don't have any motherfucking more life or hope inside your body and we don't need you on this planet. So go ahead and do it so we can lock you up and put you in a motherfucking grave. Okay, good. I'm glad you identified that. It's time for you to go. Okay? The number one rule is to understand that you don't want to do this shit for the rest of your life because it's not going to end well. Okay? The only ways that you could be a gangster is if you are really traumatized. A lot. Not a little, a lot. If you got raped, if you got molested, if you got traumatized, if you watched your dad drink all the time or your mom's boyfriends drink all the time, you probably don't have a fucking dad if you want to be a gangster. If you watch these people abuse somebody that you love and you felt helpless and hopeless and depressed and had anxiety, or you're retarded. Because 1% of Cook County inmates, 1% of IDOC, Illinois Direction of Department of Correction inmates are actually retarded. So you might be retarded, bro. You might want to get that checked out. If you can't read well, if you don't perform well academically, if you don't have any fucking friends, if you're suicidal, if you don't care about life, if you don't care about other people, if you don't care about yourself, that's one of the only ways that you could be a really, really good gangster since you want to be a gangster so bad. The other way is if you grew up around a lot of gangsters and you're actually a gangster. But you can't be born a gangster, bro. Don't let these motherfuckers fool you. To be a gangster, you have to have some kind of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You have to have information that is not readily available to the average person, especially if you're isolated, especially if you're being used and abused and raped. People are not just going to give that information to you unless they want to use you, unless they want to eat your soul. To be a gangster, you know what you got to do? You have to be willing to sell your soul. If you're a gangster, you're going to have to do that. And the only way for you to keep your soul is to eat other people's souls. Do you want to do that? You're not, no. It's not worth it. Go to school, go to college, learn these books, and you could be what you want to be. And that's what gay cinema is all about. Creating the law, creating things that never existed before. Why be a gangster when you could be a king? Why be a gangster when you could be a god? Why be a gangster when you could be an elder immortal? Hmm? Ask yourself that. I want you to take everything out your closet, metaphorically and physically. Clean that shit out, okay? I want you to go sit in that closet, turn all the lights off, and ask yourself, why be a gangster if I can be a god? Peace. Liddy.